He cooked Hasan. Yeah, right? Dude, it's so ridiculous. I can't imagine, like, shit-talking a lawyer of all people. Okay, let's watch it. He's cooked. Hasan needs to take a deep look into California law, particularly 653.2. What does it say? Every person who with intent to place another person in reasonable fear for his or her safety or the safety of others can be prosecuted. Whoa. Whoa, chat.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here.
So today
we'll return to the content goldmine. That is the H3H3 copyright infringement lawsuits he filed against
time to farm.
Frogan, and Denims. And all throughout this domino effect of events that have taken place over the past couple of weeks, there's a lot of parties getting involved, including Hasan Piker, because after all, these are his three orbiters, some of his biggest, strongest soldiers.
One of them is a bigger orbiter than everyone else. She's like Jupiter.
Who are facing these lawsuits from Ethan Klein, and Hasan Legal Eagle Piker has been weighing in with some sterling legal analysis on these related lawsuits, and they're being completely eviscerated by an actual attorney, Legal Mindset, who said,
I still don't understand in what universe is it a good idea to slander a lawyer? Like, he's an actual barred lawyer, is he not? From what I understand, he knows his shit.
a lot to say about Hasan Piker and his orbiters as well. And this has really kind of been his thing, right? He's like kind of taken on these copyright infringement lawsuits and giving great legal analysis. And he's also kind of becoming like the law tuber. Like,
yeah, he kind of is. Like, everyone comes to him for like law stuff. He's a really friendly guy, by the way. Sorry, let me plug in my shit. I think my phone was kind of freaking up a little bit. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. It's really wholesome.
He's getting a ton of traction and attention right now, and that's great. I'm very happy to see it happen. He makes great content, does very helpful legal analysis, and also, unlike a lot of other law tubers, he keeps his nose clean. And that's very important, because that's caused the downfall of other law tubers in the past. But of course, he's been weighing in on these copyright infringement lawsuits, and he's been dismantling a lot of the ridiculous claims people like Hasan Piker have been making. Like,
he must be farming so hard. Imagine being, like, again, it's kind of the equivalent of, like, you know, being really good at a game, and then a game pops off and everyone comes to you for content. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the equivalent.
For example, when he tried to say that Ethan Klein entrapped these three people, and also his general view of this is that Ethan's going to have a good chance at prevailing.
Entrapped.
And also his advice to Casey Tron, Frogan, and Denims is to settle and settle now. Get a good negotiator and settle soon, because it'll spare them a year or two of public humiliation, and also probably even more money that'll be at stake if they follow through on this thing until the end. But of course, we're missing the final link here, and that is Hasan Piker. Now,
I saw this live, like, shortly after it happened, and it blew my ass apart that, like, chat, VTubers get banned for 2 weeks for showing hips. How? Sarui got banned for 2 weeks for humping the frickin' humping a Bloodborne character in game. Like, huh?
Now, he's had a tough couple of days. If you watched my video yesterday, you understand what this screenshot is all about. It's been making the rounds on social media. To sum up that situation very quickly, basically, Hasan Piker learned that a streamer was saying disparaging things about him. So he brought what he believed was their channel and took out a gun and started waving it around in clearly a very threatening.
Oh, hi, buddy. Oh, he sees the mailman. Sorry, gosh. Hold on. Oh my god. Yeah, someone's at the door. I'm not gonna go get it. It's fine. He's gonna keep barking. I apologize.
Manner, trying to intimidate the targets of these messages he was sending.
Yeah.
And of course, he got the wrong guy. He'd eventually find the right target, but at first he targeted this person down here and called him an ugly, skinny bitch. Well,
I I bet you $100 if I pulled someone up on stream and started like insulting them and waving a gun around, even if it was a fake one. I feel like I'd get into trouble. No, I don't know. I feel like I would immediately.
Waving around the gun, trying, of course, to intimidate this person. And again, like I said, it was the wrong person. Eventually found the person who was actually disparaging him, and he did the same routine waving around the gun. Now, there's a lot of bad things that are coming out of this because, of course, Twitch has not taken any action. As of right now, it's been about 2 days since this happened. Nothing has come of this from Twitch. No ban, nothing.
They didn't even fake ban him on his day off. It's strong. It really sets a really weird precedent.
And Legal Mindset raises a very fair and basic point about this. As he says, just to be clear, if Twitch fails to act on this strongly, they open the door to a host of issues, legal and non-legal. We're going to look at some...
Twitch permabanned Destiny's Kid for doing the same thing on Twitch. I know this example's been brought up a lot, but someone else, I forget who it was, they said that they would go to a con and beat up a viewer, and they got, like, 30 days, I think it was. I forget who it was, but I think Aswin brought it up. And it's like, how is this fair? Like, you didn't even give him a slap on the wrist.
Some of the legal concerns for at least Hasan Piker in just a second.
Oh, it was yes. Yeah, it was Tyler One's brother. Yeah, like, bro, how is this fair?
This is a very bad look for Twitch. We know their favoritism is off the charts when it comes to Hasan Piker, but honestly speaking, I think this is the worst one yet. Of all the things, this one has clear precedent. People have been banned for this exact thing, and it just looks really bad. And the more inaction they take, the more they ignore this, the worse.
Again, I totally agree. I think it deserved a punishment as well. I don't think it's okay to threaten your viewers at an actual event. But this is really fucking weird too, bro. Like, why is it okay for one person to do it and then it's not fucking it's not okay for it's okay for another person to do it? That's all I want. Like, have some standards, man.
Worse things are gonna get, both in a legal and non-legal sense. So I mentioned potential laws that Hasan might be facing here, and apparently a California attorney was in contact with Legal Mindset and gave this statute that might apply to the actions of Hasan Piker.
But one thing he really can't argue with...
I think the other really horrible precedent of this happening to a person that's completely innocent, not that it's okay for, even if they were the person that was in the chat, this person is going to get harassed because a bunch of people, like, Hasan is a massive streamer, let's not get it twisted. People are gonna see that clip and go and harass this guy even though he did absolutely nothing wrong. It doesn't matter if he did something or not, it's just that you're setting such a bad precedent.
Of Hasan Piker.
But one thing he really can't argue with is the law. And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine, where that shows that he may have violated this statute, 653.2, involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads, every person who with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So,
and chat, keep in mind, he lives in California. Like, not every state is the same. Not every state is going to enforce this kind of thing or have this kind of law. He lives in Cali. He can actually get prosecuted for this.
If you have the intention to scare somebody else, to place them in fear of their safety, or the safety of that person's family, by means of an electronic communication device, a computer, or a cell phone, and without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person, or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo, and he engaged in those actions.
And he called him a skinny bitch. Like, I don't understand that at all. Like, I've called people in my chat retarded or stupid or you're being hateful or you're trolling, and I've just banned them or timed them out. But, like, why is this happening? Like, why is it okay? Why is this okay?
With the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into contacting California law enforcement, could look into that pertaining to Hasan and take action thereby.
Now, it's funny. Every single time I see a defender of Hasan Piker in the situation, they say the same thing over and over again like it makes that much of a difference. They say at the end of the stream after all this, he said it's just an airsoft gun, which really
That's not an excuse, man. It doesn't matter. If you start threatening someone and they think it's a gun or it's a knife, that's why it's dangerous to have props of, like, weapons and stuff at cosplay events. People have to check that it's a weapon or not.
Doesn't move the needle for anyone if they're looking at this objectively, because the entire intent of what he was doing was to intimidate and threaten these individuals. He wanted them to believe it was a real gun, and he really succeeded. A lot of people believed this was a gun until he said, no way, it's an airsoft gun. And that was his intent. He wanted to intimidate these people by making them believe he's waving around a real gun while talking about them. So, you know, if you want a very clear example of this, do you think Hasan Piker, if he walked into a bank and started waving around that airsoft gun to an unsuspecting crowd who doesn't know it's an airsoft gun, do you think he would just be let go?
Oh, it's a fake shotgun. It's a fake machete. Oh, it's a fake gun. Oh, you think the cops care?
It's not actually a real gun? It's ridiculous. People are being very disingenuous with their attempts to defend Hasan in this situation. But of course, like I said, there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here. There's a pretty much one-to-one comparison that can be made to this kid Nathan. This is the son of Destiny, who about a year ago was completely and utterly permabanned off of Twitch.
I remember that. Yeah, actually, that happened while I was streaming, yeah.
For bringing a toy gun
That's crazy.
onto camera. And obviously, there's a very fair...
I don't like Destiny either, but, like, Destiny's son has nothing to do with Destiny directly, but I'm just saying you get permanent for that.
Comparison to be made here. I mean, it's pretty much a one-to-one comparison where Hasan gets nothing, no punishment whatsoever, and this kid gets a lifelong permaban. He's still gone to this day. Obviously very hypocritical. And then you have more examples of people being treated unfairly by the Twitch TOS in a very clear way now. Legal Mindset mentions Asmongold and Tectone. I think Tectone's like the best example here because he got banned for, what was it, 2 weeks or a month for calling Frogan fat, and yet Hasan does this charade and nothing happens to him. In fact, during his...
Even if you make the argument of saying, oh, well, you know, I took off the tip, it doesn't matter, it looks like a real gun. You're brandishing it.
Rants. He called the one guy an ugly, skinny bitch. The reason that they claim
insecure,
Tectone was banned was because they thought he was body-shaming Frogan by calling her fat, but this guy does basically the flip side of that same thing, body-shaming this random kid for no reason, and he gets nothing, while also waving around his gun in the process. It's completely ridiculous. The levels...
Well, the thing is also, you have to take into context, he was saying, like, what are you gonna do? You can't see my hands, but he was brandishing the gun and being like, what are you gonna do, bro? You pussy bitch. Ooh, you are ugly and skinny. What are you gonna do? You are putting it also into, like, actual context of speaking it out loud.
The hypocrisy that's going on at
A lawyer
Twitch.
will froth at the mouth
But also... Finally, Hasan would more directly approach Legal Mindset. People in his chat are saying, hey, Legal Mindset made a video on you. Are you going to respond? And he's clearly very frustrated. And we're going to look at two clips, beginning with this one right here, where he says some...
I hate this so much.
Very out-of-pocket stuff that are just not true about Legal Mindset.
Dude, there's something so funny about people being like, dog, have you seen the Legal Mindset video about you? Dude, if I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer, that actually is like a fucking right-wing freak that spends most of their time talking about like trans people.
By the way, I I actually looked into it. Because I was like, when the hell did Legal Mindset ever talk about trans people? I looked through and I typed into Google. I've tried to find anything about him talking about trans people. It's literally made up. He's never done that before. All he talks about is Johnny Slamali and some other nuisance streamers abroad. Talks about living abroad in Southeast Asian countries. It's like, what? And he's not right wing. He just covers normal stuff. He's never been like political. He just unironically made up shit so that his chat or his people that watch his stream think badly of him, even though it's not true.
I would lose my mind.
For that.
I would have
absolutely.
no time to cover anything else.
It's so
I get
sad.
it. A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama.
Yeah, as you can see, he is fully engaging in the Hasan system.
What the fuck is this Hasan system?
If you're not familiar with this meme, he hates it, but let's go through it.
Hide, alter, strawman,
ignore critics' content to obscure their argument. A, alter, drastically misrepresent the opposing view.
Chat, if I started making up shit about someone, I would hope that you guys would call me out on it. I just don't know how you can, like, gaslight your chat and yourself and literally make up shit. It's crazy.
S for strawman. Attack the misrepresentation by grouping critics with deplorables. A for avoid. Debate only weaker opponents, never the original person. And finally, N, name call. Label frustrated opposition as crazy or obsessed to discredit them. Which is really where we're going to focus on right now. He loves the name calling aspect.
Yeah, he loves to say anybody that talks about him is obsessed. Maybe, I know this is a crazy thought, but maybe stop saying stupid shit so people don't call you out on it constantly.
When it comes to really any of his critics, but especially with Legal Mindset, he cannot come up with a valid response to the criticism and legal analysis that's being provided to him. He can't actually argue against it, so instead, he engages in the Hasan system, mainly with the name calling. He tries to discredit his opponents, and in this case, it's Legal Mindset. So let's begin with a very ridiculous lie. He begins by calling him a Rumble lawyer. Now, if you're familiar with Legal Mindset, you know for at least like a year and a half, he's been streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you look at his Rumble account, his last stream on there was over a year ago. So he's not a Rumble lawyer.
No,
but
it means
isn't that like just like a weird thing to lie about? I say this about people like Hasan all the time. They lie about everything, even details that don't even matter. Does it matter if he's a YouTube lawyer or he's a Rumble lawyer? Does it matter? Does it change the validity of anything he's saying? It's a very strange thing.
It's because Rumble has like a bad connotation to it for some obvious reasons. And he uses that as a straw man to discredit the entire thing, even if he stopped using it. Maybe Legal Mindset stopped using it because of the association with Rumble. It doesn't fucking matter. Attack the argument, not the person.
To lie about. Then we get into the more serious lie. He calls him a fake lawyer. And he'll do it again in the next clip we're going to watch, but he makes it very clear. He is saying that Legal Mindset is not actually a lawyer, which is a very slanderous thing to say. Because we're not dealing with the usual Hasan stuff where he's like calling all of his opponents Nazis and pedophiles and stuff like that. He's saying something that is a factual thing to look at. He is a lawyer. He got a law degree from the University of Florida, and he is licensed to practice as an attorney in Florida as well. He's is a lawyer. It's not subjective, it's an objective fact. So when he says he is a fake lawyer or he's not actually a lawyer, he is lying. There's no debate. He is getting it wrong. And this is a pretty serious thing in my opinion because
I can already see it now. It's like, oh, I didn't mean like literally fake lawyer. I just mean like a lawyer that doesn't engage in actual lawyer work. He just farms drama on YouTube. I don't know. I think you could clip this or something. Like maybe that's what's gonna come out in like 2 weeks.
Everything that ties into Legal Mindset's career, especially on YouTube, it's all tied to his credibility as a lawyer. If he's not a lawyer, none of this works. He's not Legal Mindset. He's not going to be making legal analysis because he wouldn't be a lawyer. So the fact that that is the core of his credentials and he is trying to say that is false is a big deal. And he's
and he farms drama, absolutely. But he has more credibility about talking about law, which is actually transformative content. Like, for me personally, I'm just an idiot behind a camera, behind a voice changer, behind 400 pounds of fat, in front of a VTube studio, like, camera. I don't really have, like, I can't definitively tell you what is and isn't true about law. Like, I feel like he has more credibility than most people streaming.
Doing it in front of 30,000 people, doing it maliciously, and repeating it over and over again to try to discredit Legal Mindset.
Yeah.
What he's doing is malicious, and it's harming his reputation. And Legal Mindset would talk about this and basically lay out the foundation of what I just said, making it very clear that he is in fact a lawyer, and that saying otherwise could end up with a situation where action might be taken.
So there you go, Mr. Piker. That's the language. So that statement is indeed false, right? That I am a quote-unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the University of Florida. So that statement in the future would be defamatory. And with Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation than the normal private individual. So now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker.
I better watch my mouth, damn.
Piker, and that he
I'm a public figure, chat.
That information is false and defamatory. To continue to do so would perhaps incur liability on the part of Mr. Piker. But let's continue to see what he has to say about me. This is fun.
You also had that other part where he calls him a right-wing freak. And he keeps...
Again, it's literally to just psych up his chat into being, like, mean to him. He's a right-wing freak! Get him! That means it's okay to attack him personally!
Repeating it over and over, he calls him like a MAGA.
I don't fucking say, like, oh, fucking Hasan is a left-wing freak, let's go attack him. I've never said that. I've always said Hasan's a fucking idiot. I just debunk his fucking arguments. I don't, like, Hasan is a left-wing freak, but I don't say that because it's derogatory and it doesn't actually add substance to my argument. I would rather show clips of Hasan being an idiot than say, oh, he's a fucking left-wing freak or something. Because it doesn't actually add anything to it. Like, I'm gonna keep covering drama. I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't give a shit. I'm not sorry. I'm gonna keep farming Hasan if he keeps being an idiot. And everyone else.
Lawyer and all that stuff.
It's funny.
We all know with Hasan, if you're anything to the right of Mao Zedong, you're probably alt-right, fascist, Nazi, MAGA, whatever term he feels like using at that time. But from my own experience, I don't hear Legal Mindset even talk about politics, especially during his streams. And it's something he said has been a concerted effort on his part. He's tried to stay away from sharing any sort of political beliefs or anything like that and to stick to the legal analysis because there's no point in alienating some of his audience by sharing those sorts of things. So he tries to stick to the legal analysis and leave the politics out of it. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
Which is absolutely based. Like, you're being completely objective.
And anyone who watches him would understand that. But of course, Hasan doesn't know anything about this guy. He's created this caricature of what he thinks Legal Mindset is in his mind. And now he's going off and ranting about it. He also talks about how Legal Mindset's always talking about trans people and stuff.
Again, I've never seen it. Like, ever. Not even an inkling on it. Like, what?
Couldn't find a video if I tried where he's talking about that, unless it's from many, many years ago, but nothing recent I've seen doesn't even bring up the topic whatsoever. And also he calls him a drama perv, or he calls, I guess, his community a bunch of drama pervs because they're trying to get him to engage actively with Legal Mindset's video.
So you farm literally world drama, like, no offense, but, like, covering politics is unironically IRL drama farming. You're kind of a fucking hypocrite.
And it's like, dude,
you are. You literally are.
Like, we're all in this. We're all like, he always likes to call people
farming.
slop tubers. Everyone's making slop. We're all the slop, dude.
Yeah,
we're all in
love
this
slop.
together. We're all in the slop. We're in the drama. There's no mistaking it here. That's what your community thrives on. They like the drama because you're constantly involved in drama. But let's watch one more clip.
But I'm not going to pay any mind or any attention to some fucking psychotic MAGA lawyer, not a real lawyer, but a passport bro, who offers fucking courses on becoming a passport bro, who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Well, that's a lie, too. Do you know what's fucked up is that I feel like he had to go and find out that Legal Mindset used to stream on Rumble and then quite literally lie about it. Because me personally, like, I follow Legal Mindset on Twitter. I watch his YouTube videos. We've seen dozens of clips of him. I even have one of my resub alerts is, do not touch the fox woman! Ah! That's him! Like, one of my resub alerts. He's a nice guy. I even asked him. And we talked in DMs and I asked him a few questions about, like, laws and stuff. Like, he actually had to go out of his way to find out information about him and quite literally lie.
Why do you guys come in here and ask for this stuff? It's never going to happen. Okay?
What?
It's never happening.
So again, as you can see, he repeats the lie about Legal Mindset's status as a lawyer. He claims he is a fake lawyer. He's not an actual lawyer, which we know is completely false. But he also calls him a passport bro. Now, in case you're not familiar with what that is, it's kind of like, from my understanding, like sex tourism. Someone who goes to another country for their own perverse reasons, typically involving sex, where they're trying to take advantage of the opportunities there or take advantage of the laws there to exploit women and sometimes children.
That's derogatory, too.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to be called.
Yeah.
And when you look at Legal Mindset and what he does and kind of the way he lives his life, he's the exact opposite of a passport bro. He is someone who has residency in multiple countries in Asia. He is a long-time resident. He's also someone who helps other people gain legal citizenship in those countries. He's making sure they stay because they enjoy the country so they can be there long term. It's the exact opposite of what a passport bro would be doing. And also, isn't it so rich to hear Hasan call someone a passport bro? This is the same guy.
Yeah, didn't he, like, go to some island or some shit?
Remember, who about 10 years ago admitted he went to a brothel to pay women for sex. And this is something that
so stunning and brave.
He would, of course, talk about because he would get in a lot of trouble because people didn't find it too amusing that this
By the way, it's an interview with H3 from 3 years ago.
guy openly brags about going to brothels.
I'm going to play the video so people understand. But I guess this was the reason people got really mad. So this is a clip.
Escort, no shame. Obviously, sex work is real work. I've had sex with not even escorts, but also like straight. I've gone to a brothel, Artemis in Berlin, and had sex with the workers there. Yes.
Oh.
I don't hide it. I don't give a shit. Why would I?
Okay.
Yeah, so you saying that you solicited sex.
Yeah. And they're like, this is shameful.
Now I'll ask you.
I don't care. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. I wouldn't want to be with him even if he put a gun to my head. But like, okay.
Right. What sounds closer to a passport bro in this context? A guy who has long-term residency in multiple countries and tries to get other people legal citizenship to stay for the long term, or a guy who went to Berlin just to sleep with escorts and go to a brothel.
I mean, it's a free country.
I don't know. Which one sounds more like a passport bro to you? But
passport bro can be very derogatory in the climate of certain contexts. I've heard horrible stories of women getting exploited. Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's calling someone a passport bro is a nice thing to say given some context.
Also, he says, again, ridiculous lie that Legal Mindset sells courses on how to be a passport bro. Citation needed, because there's nothing like that exists out there. And you guys probably expect that. And then he also said again that he primarily streams on Rumble. We know that's completely ridiculous, instantly debunkable, but that's how people like Hasan Piker function. They just lie right to your face and hope you don't actually try to do anything about it. But overall, you can see how ridiculous of a situation this is. Good on Legal Mindset for not only providing his legal analysis on all these related issues, but also for standing up for himself, making the record clear, and making it clear that if Hasan continues, especially with the fake lawyer comments, that there might be punishment.
I feel like one day, I don't think Legal Mindset is going to sue him, but I feel like someone will go ahead and sue him for slander if he says the wrong thing at the wrong time. I don't know.
The result of that, and I think I can speak on behalf of everyone watching this video, we're rooting for him if that's the case. All right? But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I don't know. Very, very weird. Calling a lawyer a fake lawyer. Very, very bizarre. Yeah, go check out Ripsis Disu and A Legal Mindset.